We move to Casey's turn. He plays Cephalid Colosseum, then taps and plays Basalt Monolith. Hello and welcome to Cardboard Content, where we aim to develop our skills and grow the competitive Commander community. Hey guys, it's me Benedict. Thank you for joining me again on week 3 of Dockside Duels at Darkside. If you have been enjoying this series, please consider subscribing. It does help a lot. I've also set up a playlist for this series, so if you haven't watched the 2 other previous videos, you can jump in and watch those too. We have a crazy, interesting game today. It's going to be enjoyable for those who like decks that are straight away from ordinary. Then let's get into it. First player is going to be Casey playing Kinnan. Then we have Moises playing Malcolm Tymna. Then we have Connor playing Atla-Palani. And then Robert playing Malcolm Tymna as well. Casey starts us off with a polluted delta into a mox diamond, pitching a treasure vault. Then casting a lotus petal, fetching up a tropical island, then playing his commander cannon, sacrificing the lotus petal for a moon silver key. Passes turn. Moises plays a island, then a chrome mox, imprinting a enlightened tutor into a mana vault into a turn 1/1 ring. Draws from the 1 ring. Passes turn to Connor. Connor plays a Scalding Tarn, fetches up a Stomping Ground, and plays Gamble. Discards a Mox Amber, plays a Mana Crypt, taps Mana Crypt into Arcane Signet. Now it's Robert's turn. Robert plays City of Brass, into a Mana Crypt, into a first turn Malcolm. Casey's second turn, he plays Gilded Drake, targeting the only creature, Malcolm. He passes turn. Moises' turn, he takes 1 from his 1 ring, and then his draw step, Mana Vault, deals him an additional 1. He taps the 1 ring, draws 2 cards, and then plays a Flooded Strand and passes turn. Connor's turn, he rolls for Crypt, takes no damage, then casts his commander, Atla-Palani. Moises responds by cracking his fetch and getting an Underground Sea. Casey responds by cracking his Moon Silver Key and grabbing a Basalt Monolith. Robert's turn, he rolls for Mana Crypt. He's successful, takes no damage, plays a Godless Shrine, shocking himself for 2. Then taps and plays a Grim Hireling. Attacks Casey for 3 with his Gilded Drake, triggering Grim Hireling and netting 2 treasures. We move to Casey's turn. He plays Cephalid Colosseum, then taps and plays Basalt Monolith. Moises responds with Galadriel's Dismissal, targeting Kinnan. Casey responds with a Swan Song. Moises responds with a Mental Misstep. Then Casey responds back with a Fierce Guardianship. And then Moises responds back again with a Flusterstorm. Galadriel's Dismissal resolves, phasing out Kinnan. Then Basalt Monolith resolves. Casey goes into combat, attacks Moises, and then nets a treasure. Moises loses 2 from the 1 ring, and then 1 on his draw step from Mana Vault. Taps the 1 ring and draws 3. Plays a Scalding Tarn, cracks it for a Tundra, and then passes turn. Connor rolls for his Mana Crypt and loses 3. Connor plays Martyr's Cause, activating Atla-Palani's ability, creating a 0/1 egg. Sacrifices the egg to Martyr's Cause, triggering Atla-Palani's ability. Whenever an egg dies, he reveals cards from the top of his library till he reveals a creature card and puts it onto the battlefield. Reveals Palani's Hatchery, ETB, makes 2 green dinosaur eggs, sacrifices 1 of the eggs to Martyr's Cause, triggers Palani's ability again, and reveals a Irregular Cohort. Irregular Cohort's ETB triggers and makes a 2/2 colorless shapeshifter. Sacrifices the other egg, triggering Palani's ability again. Reveals a Perforos, God of the Forge. Sacrifices the 2/2 changeling, which counts as an egg, to Martyr's Cause, and activates Palani's ability again. Reveals a Mirror Entity, triggering Perforos, dealing 2 damage to each opponent. Sacrifices the Irregular Cohort, triggering Palani's ability and revealing Ulamog, the Infinite Gyre, triggering Perforos to deal 2 damage to each opponent. sacrifices Palani's Hatchery, then sacrifices Ulamog to trigger his Graveyard Shuffle. He sacrifices Mirror Entity, triggering Palani's ability, and reveals a Irregular Cohort. Pings the table down for 2 more damage. With Irregular Cohort's ETB on the stack, Moises responds with a Tainted Pact and stops at a Rapid Hybridization, targeting Atla-Palani. Connor responds with a Deflecting Swat, changing the target to Malcolm. Moises responds with a Swan Song, targeting the Deflecting Swat. Swan Song resolves, targeting Deflecting Swat. Connor gets a 2/2 bird, triggering Perforos, before Rapid Hybridization resolves, sacrificing the Irregular Cohort. Connor proceeds to continue the loop with the Irregular Cohort ETB on the stack, and then runs out of creatures to sack. Rapid Hybridization resolves, creating a 3/3 Frog Lizard, triggering Perforos, dealing 2 damage to each opponent again. Irregular Cohort's ETB finally resolves, making a 2/2 Changeling, triggering Perforos. Palani's Hatchery triggers, moving into combat, turns one of the eggs into a 3/3 Dinosaur, triggering Perforos, giving it haste through Palani's Hatchery and attacking Casey for 3 and eliminating him. We move to Robert's turn, being at 4 life. Loses his Mana Crypt trigger and casts Tainted Pact. 80% of his deck revealing Thassasil. He decides to stop there, seeing he can't find a win, and then calls it game to Connor. Kudos to you, Connor, for pulling out the win. Counter battles, stealing commanders, win attempts. You had it all. Good job again to you, Connor, for pulling off the win with a not so known deck. Endgame summation. Don't exhaust all your counters, especially if it's not gonna stop you completely. Kinnan was getting phased out and your Basalt Monolith wasn't being targeted. So you could have saved that interaction to stop other players and hope to get to your turn there. Seeing how many times only one player interacted with you, anticipate the other 2 potentially doing the same. Malcolm, Tymna player, Moises, maybe pass priority and see if anyone else has some interaction so you don't exhaust all your interaction to stop one person. Maybe other people can contribute with that. Good job to Connor for piloting a deck that is a stray away from ordinary. Advantage to you because most people don't know how to interact with certain decks. That to me is when people end up losing the match, when they don't know how to interact or when to properly interact with people's decks, or when they're attempting to go off. If you enjoyed the match, please subscribe, and if you want to see more, I have the playlist. If you're interested in competing, we'll have a tournament coming up soon. And if you want something a bit sooner and looking for something in your area, you can head to topdeck.gg. More on that here. What is Top Deck Championship Series, you ask? It's a Commander tournament circuit that runs now till August 2024. You can compete in a tournament registered with Top Deck Championship Series. Your accumulation of points will vary in accordance with the event tier that you participate in. Find these tournaments on topdeck.gg. In late August, the top 64 players will qualify for a Top Deck Invitational and will compete for a prize of over $11,000. No tournaments in the area? Well, ask your local LGS to join as a partner to the series and host their own events, which will add to the still growing prize pool. For more information, go to topdeck.gg. We also have other social medias linked down below. If you've already subscribed and already watched all my videos, thank you so much. Another way you can support us is through Patreon. I have to thank these guys. Always a special thanks to our Patreons who deserve all the recognition. Our tier 2 content consumers, Aaron and Big Yoda. Now our top tier cardboard cutouts. Wong at 4 times, Matt at 3, and Albert at 3. Thanks for your support. please consider joining us at patreon.com/cardboardcontent. Thank you again to all the Patreons. Without you guys' continued support, no one else would be doing it. Thank you again, and see you guys in round 4.